All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Wednesday. Up here, 1 second. Getting a little backup audio here. Just give me a quick second here. There we go. We'll make do. Great to see all of us on YouTube, Facebook Live, all of us live inside the cyber group room. Great to see Brian and Gary, and we have Norman here joining us, Johannes as well, Robert W. We have Michael. Great to see everybody here. Perfect. All right, so folks, I got to tell you, I came right back to my desk to begin. I had to make sure I had enough water here just to begin, but we also have class coming up here later on this afternoon, finishing up actually the phase 2 stock course, lesson number 4, talking all about just risk management, setting stops, and taking profits ultimately on positions. So with that, ISIG, I guess perhaps could be a quick little teaser to go over for right now. We're not as likely to focus on this, at least, given the sharp drop off at this point. It was moving up pretty nicely at just, heading into this meeting, ended up making a bigger pop shortly after the market opened up, even beginning to from pre-market. I think that was after 9 o'clock in the morning, but ended up, making a nice pop up towards 14 to where it had dumped right back down, ended up dumping all the way back down towards 12, 11.50. And then from there ended up, trying to make a nice little squeeze back up. You could just see recently here, up towards 1180-ish near 12. And things were looking good until they didn't really. So, the ISIG at this point right now, I'm definitely going to avoid putting this on the watch list just to begin. I was kind of hopeful. But let's see what else we got here in the meantime, though. And what I'll do is I'll show you a stock actually not number 1, but number 2 right now, and hopefully it doesn't stop me out in the process here. We'll try and follow this trade at least in class this afternoon. But the DRCT trade, I am in this position right now. But ended up making a nice push beginning in pre-market, pushed from 4 up towards 550, came back down though when the market opened up. So with that, well, I'll explain the rest in class. How about that? We'll put this on our watch list for the afternoon for any of our just, regular members inside Cyber Group or trial members or, anyone just looking to trade at least. If you're not joining me in class and if you'd rather trade yourself, then, hey, DRCT, I feel personally, could still be a good stock to watch. However, it's got to hold right over 467, pretty much right from where I had gotten in from. If it breaks from that price or perhaps even a little bit underneath, I think like 460 or 458 that is, I'm not expecting much otherwise. So, if it needs to hold this. So I'll put it on our list for right now. It looks pretty interesting, but I'll explain more so in class the entries I took throughout the morning, throughout the day entirely. All right, now we start from the top. Number 1, geez, FRGE, another big pop. I say another because this stock ended up making a big pop for us at the end of last week. It was on Friday. Ended up going from like 11 or 12 bucks at the time. Let me just check officially. I'll give you 12.52 it had opened up at. We ended up following this stock right out the gate because we had followed it a few days prior to that earlier last week, but ended up going back from Friday last week, 12.52, all the way to 24.62 it is. And then, of course, at that point, it dumped off. It consolidated the following days after, but man, this one ended up making a huge squeeze just heading into the early parts of today or the early parts of this afternoon. So from 26 up to 43, 44, 34 it actually is. But yeah, I mean, right now it's beginning to show lower highs. So how much more will this give? I feel like it broke out from this big Fausto flag, this big pennant you could essentially call it in between. And with that, it seems like it's at all-time highs. So there's no historical resistance to work with on this trade. But you look at the 1-minute chart, you look at the intraday, lower highs, volumes waning back down. We know it's going to happen to a stock like this. Look what happened on the ISPC trade from 520 down to 360. That's not that bad, right? No, that's not what I'm talking about. Just stock pop from like 8 up towards to 30, then dumped all the way back down, right? I mean, I can go down a whole litany of different stocks here. The ISIG, which ended up making a nice move from this morning, like we had said, but just pulled back a bit. But again, look at the daily chart. And from the end of last year, ended up going from like 5 up to 35, all the way back down to 5. It's all over the map. So we know it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen to a stock like that, FRGE. So I'll come back to it at the end if I need to. All right, the ADGI trade, another one from earlier this morning in pre-market, ended up making for a good move early, but ended up making a bit of a drop off once the market had opened up. Made a bit of a bounce from like 540-ish, 535 up towards just about 6. Held under that 6 level, Yehuda. We were talking about that just in the chat. He asked me a quick question. I said, wait for the 6 level, wait for the 6 level to break. And that was after it had broken here at the time. So, ended up holding perfectly under 6 from there, dropped right back down. Right now, at this point, just flat. All right, much needed water break there. HILS here ended up making a bit of a move early or later on into the morning. Right now, though, not doing a whole lot, pretty flat. Keep it going. We'll kind of just skim through the gainer side for right now. NAOV, same thing. LITM from earlier showed higher lows, broke out pretty nicely heading into the early afternoon off of what seems to be like 920-ish, 925. Held above 9 just recently, so that's kind of interesting. Higher lows showing once again on this trade, but the volume's kind of light, so I don't have a great need to put this on our watch list just yet. If it pops during this meeting, then definitely tell me and I'll consider otherwise. Unfortunately, this MULN trade, hey, we'll look to cover this trade going into class. Ended up making for a pretty nice run from, the pop it made, at 1 o'clock, pop from like 230, 225, all the way up towards just about 310. Listen, this ended up making actually a pretty simple move, after the pop. And I can't always say that for every trade. I didn't trade this stock. I did not trade this at all myself. I ended up commuting back home, ended up working from home the rest of the day here, and I set up. And, this already made its pop. I thought I was going to chase it. But looking on Bookmap, looking on level 3 otherwise, it was actually pretty simple. So I don't know if anyone jumped in from our live trading room, that is, but I'll cover this trade as well in class later on today at 3:05. All right. The other trade that I had mentioned, the DRCT. Knock on wood as I say that. Let me get my necklace of garlic wrapped around me here. It's starting to pop. Hopefully I don't jinx myself there. The MULN, though, for right now, again, it was looking good until it didn't. So, I'm not as particular about the drop-off here for the afternoon. TMC, it's holding, right? It's like kind of holding strong. The stock got crushed going back into like late September last year. I'll be honest, I kind of forgot about this trade, but now that I see this, like I definitely remember, at least the bigger days where it had tanked. But right now, I mean, it's kind of flat, albeit at the highs. We don't really have much on the watch list so far, so it doesn't hurt us to put this on the list, at least the TMC trade. Gern, Gern, familiar name over the years. We've seen the stock run in the past. So, convenient timing. Right now it's at the highs, kind of similar pace as the TMC trade. If I put that on, I feel like I should put this on as well. Dogs, I mean, again, it's at the highs, but it's like a really spotty intraday chart, which I'm not really too keen about. So I'll put Gern on our list. The other one, not so much. All right, we keep it kind of going here, folks. I just want to make sure that we have enough time to prep and get ready for class. We as in we, because, I just want to make sure our students are squared away on the tech side of things, just logging in and, making sure that you're good with the chat settings and just the tech side. And then of course, myself. But Lulu right now, pretty expensive. Just wanted to take a look. Assuming it was going to be near the highs, up like over 10%, 11+% right now. Just check back in on the LAC trade. LAC was like on a huge tear earlier today. It was relatively close to all-time highs, just was over 41. I think that was back from last year. But, it was relatively close for what it's worth. Right now, it's dropping off a bit. Hey, it's still tradable, but by all measures, if you did really well on this trade earlier today, you definitely should put it on your watch list for the afternoon, But, otherwise, there's nothing like too special about it, just here. You know what I mean? If it was at the highs, definitely. Right now, though, it's like, just kind of trotting back down. If anyone's short from 38, you're doing pretty damn nice on it. So again, very tradable, but I just want to see if there's anything like looking a lot better in terms of a pop or a run. All right, we got Tiva up like a sneaky 7+%. It's not the run I'm looking for. Not with that chart. We have the Tel trade, which has been a good sideless stock of late, at least, and ended up making a good push from the morning, and it's kind of just flat here still too. I don't know. All right, how about this? Give me a split second here, folks, because I'm going to get out on half my position here on the DRCT trade just to take profit. I don't want to be a jerk and just blow the whole thing if it ends up, going the other way. But I ended up getting out on part of my trade off at 5. I actually wanted to get out at like 508-ish there, but it pulled back. All right, that's fine. Let's hop on over to the loser side here. I'll explain everything, though, that I'm doing, at least in class, coming up in just about 25 minutes. AKBA. Oof. Holy smokes. I saw this on the top of the losers list earlier. I didn't click on the chart. I should have I didn't notice this. I saw it was at 88 cents. I'm like, I literally thought to myself, I'm like, well, geez, AKBA, when did that become 88 cents? I just ignored to click on the chart. Well, it became 88 cents today after 12 o'clock Eastern time. I thought now that I'm think about it, Norman mentioned that in the chat, right? Norman, you said that like much earlier in the day. You said that AKBA was halted off of news. So now I'm kind of like connecting 2 and 2 in my head, live right now. But, hey, I mean, for as much down as it is, could it be a dead cat bounce opportunity? Is it possible for this to make a nice like little break back over $1 temporarily? I don't know if that's it probably won't make for a good swing trade, that's for sure. But, we'll see if it does that, though. We'll see if it can at least like kind of make that higher high. So it looks flat, but AKBA, I don't mind at least, putting a bit of a focus on this to start. All right, so keep it going. We have the Chewy trade here down big. It was at the lows, still tanking, not tanking, but really dropping off steadily. Maybe it'll drop off a lot faster heading into the afternoon here. But yeah, this seems like a no-brainer. We'll put Chewy on our watch list. And, hey, I know that half of our phase 2 course this month was featuring shorting. So we talked about the concept of shorting in the beginning of phase 2 earlier on Monday. And, hey, we continued that conversation in relation to level 3 and level 4 order flow altogether. So, you know what? Like, this could actually be like a pretty nice live example about, where to enter a short trade heading into the afternoon in class. And, more so than that, not just, where to get in, but where to take a profit, where to set your stop. So, that's basically the premise of our class here for the close. So, yeah, Chewy definitely will put this on our watch list, just at the top. Market dropping off here quite a bit. Bitcoin not really dropping off that much. Just saying. Now, we did a live stream last night. I know there was a bunch of us that joined intermittently throughout the 2 hours. It was just about that I did. A couple of questions asked about different like altcoins and so forth. I was showing more of the Bitcoin heat map. I'll do another like extensive video probably by the end of the weekend. The Party City trade, it is shortable. Just kind of going back to the losers list here. Shortable at the lows, but again, like opportunity cost. Like for the stocks that were at the highs, they were just like super flat. So not particular about that just yet, All right, folks, I got not much else really here from Benzinga Pro that I have on my other screen. A little cheat sheet at least with me. But if there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you would want me to look at or check out, just let me know here in the chat boards. You have Norman saying BEKE tanking. So you know what? We'll go back to Norman here. And yeah, what a pop and drop on BEKE, huh? Now, I'll tell you what, I actually ended up prepping up this chart going into the market open here today. I can jump to it in class even if we have enough time. But, more as an afternoon trade. I mean, yeah, really good call. I mean, for as much as it moved up, sure as hell came right back down. It is shortable, at least on our platform here. It's hopefully shortable if you don't have TradeStation, whether you're on Thinkorswim, Tasty Trade, or, Webull Interactive Brokers, you name it. But, BEKE definitely good call. Just as far as like a tradable stock, this one at least is, still moving a bit, for a $13 stock. I think there was another one that we were kind of focused on as like a, just tradable stock, but it wasn't really moving that well. So this one is moving pretty well, and more on the downside here at this point. All right, couple here from Yehuda for the RMO trade. Nah, it looks too slow. INDO. And INDO is just flat. This thing, I don't know if you're expecting a big move up, big move down. It's trading 700 shares a minute. That's how little volume this stock is trading right now. This is this is not worth watching. This is just no. Fausto would call this garbage in 2 seconds if he was doing the morning meeting. All right, we have anyone on YouTube right now? Let's see. From Mitch, the Peloton trade. Oh, yeah, let me not forget about Peloton this time. I forgot about Peloton yesterday, and I messed up. That was like pretty much at the highs when we were doing the meeting. And, like we focused on it in the room, after the fact, but we missed out on a small part of the run at first. So, looking at Peloton now as a short at the lows, down over that 5% that I asked for. So, Mitch, you got to join us inside our live trading room. And if you want to join us, go right down to the link on the banner below there, the stream. Sign up, join the rest of us, like Norman and Michael and Yehuda, Mark and Brian, Michael. Good call. Nice catch. All right, folks, I'll tell you what. I think that just about wraps it up. I still am in part of my position on DRCT. I'm in from decent price. I'm not going to tell you where I'm in from because I'm going to tell you in class. I'm going to tell you in just about 18 minutes from right now. So if you want to join the Phase 2 stock course, just go right down to the link on the banner below. I'm talking to all of us, at least in Cyber Group for right now. For anyone on YouTube, you got to join our classes for that at least. But, if you want to join the Phase 2 course for all of us inside Cyber Group, just go right down to the link there. And then we'll begin class right at 3:05 Eastern. All right, folks, I look forward to it. And, hey, if we have enough time, we'll catch a few trades at least live heading into the market close, almost like what Fausto does in the Phase 3 course. All right, take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it.